This is part two of the battle for Chattanooga. Today I am going to cover Lookout Mountain, along with Orchard Knob, Moccasin Bend. I hope Moccasin Bend's a ways away. I may not be able to make that with time constraints and driving time. I'm also going to hit Missionary Ridge and also Sherman's Reservation. Most of these other places are parks that won't take long at all to visit. The Moccasin Bend, though, is an archaeology site that could take a little bit longer to visit. So thanks for tuning in. I am looking forward to the rest of the day. Talk to you later. Let's get started. Thanks for tuning in. This is episode 2 of the Battle of Chickamauga. This video is focusing on the taking of Chattanooga itself. As a quick review, remember the Confederates used Chattanooga as a major distribution point for supplying their armies. There were 3 different railways that come into Chattanooga along with the Chattanooga River itself, which fed into other types of rivers. And so for that reason, the Union also wanted Chattanooga, again, because they wanted it as a major distribution center for their war effort, pushing further south. And so the Union began advancing on Chattanooga, and it just so happened that the Confederates and the Union ran into each other in Chickamauga Creek, and that 3-day battle ensued, which was the 3rd bloodiest of the Civil War. The taking of Chattanooga, technically, the Battle of Chattanooga, the Confederates won, and the Union soldiers retreated back into the city of Chattanooga with little resistance, and so they set up shop there. The Confederates decided to lay siege to the Chattanooga and wait the Union out, basically starve them out, which was beginning to work until the Union was able to fix up a supply line to Chattanooga, which brought in supplies, food, and more men, lots more men. And pretty soon the Union outnumbered the Confederate soldiers by a lot. And so the battle began. And the battle began on November 23rd. And with the taking of what was called Orchard Knob, which was a high area situated between Lookout Mountain and Missionary Ridge that also overlooked the city of Chattanooga, so the Confederates can watch and see everything that the Union soldiers were doing. So that battle was pretty brief. It was just a major lookout post, command center for the Confederates. Now on November 24th, then the Union set its sights on Lookout Mountain, which became known as the Battle Above the Clouds. The Union soldiers advanced on Lookout Mountain, and there was a fair amount of Confederate forces up on top, but not a lot. And the Confederate forces soon saw that, hey, they were going to lose this battle, because there was just way too many Union soldiers coming. So they decided to abandon Lookout Mountain, which they started to do that. They kind of organized around the Craven's house and then left the area to regroup. On the next day, on the 25th, Missionary Ridge, then the Union soldiers turned their forces onto Missionary Ridge, which that battle lasted a day as well. And I drove along Missionary Ridge. There's numerous Civil War interesting areas to stop and look at, and they'll be presented in the videos, in the slides after this video. And that hill is steep. I've climbed hills like that in my youth, and you're like a mountain goat. You're almost on your hands and knees climbing your way up that hill. So the Unions advanced on that, and then pretty soon it became apparent that, again, the Confederates were outgunned and outnumbered, and so they regrouped themselves and abandoned Missionary Ridge. And so by November 26th, the battle for Chattanooga was over. And then the Union set its sights on reconditioning Chattanooga, where they made it into a major supply depot. They did massive improvements along the river's edge. They warehouses, buildings, stores. They completely rebuilt Chattanooga. And Chattanooga became quite a thriving, lively town, as it is today. If you're out visiting, Chattanooga is really a nice place to go. They've got some great museums, they've got great tourist type things to look at. During fall, the colors are phenomenal. Dollywood's not that far away. It's really a great place to come visit. And so anyways, that's what's going on with the Battle of Chattanooga. This ends episode 2. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around, watch the slideshow afterwards. May all your seas be calm. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you could help me out by subscribing, liking, and sharing this video, that would be fantastic. And oh, by the way, if you click that little bell thing, every time I upload a new Footloose adventure, you'll get notified. Thank you.